I'm Christy. Today I want to talk about a new way to look at what milestones should look like. One constant in parenting life is watching your kids reach milestones. When your kids develop typically and do things on time, they accomplish milestone events in an age-appropriate time frame. Kids with special needs often reach milestones on their own schedule, regardless of what the expected time frame is. And I'm discovering milestones don't end with childhood. When your child is young, there are many milestones that parents and medical professionals watch for to confirm that a child is growing and developing in a typical manner and time frame, and rightfully so. We all want to make sure that our kids are developing and maturing along an expected path. When your child has special needs, they accomplish milestones on their own schedule and in their own way, and sometimes they never reach milestones at all. Each time something is out of the normal expectations, we have to deal with some grief and disappointment. Even when we know it's coming, there's still a letdown that accompanies the fact that our child has missed something that most peers accomplish with ease. Over time, we come to realize that that's part of parenting someone with special needs. And while we deal with the heartbreak, we also come to expect it and adjust the best we can. But we expect that someday those disappointments will end because the milestones will be reached, or not. I'm discovering that those milestones don't end with childhood. They continue into adulthood, and I see several more I have yet to face full on. High school graduation, starting college graduation, starting your first job, moving into your own place, getting married, having kids. All of these are milestones that are part of a typical young adult's life. Even if we're not ready for them, or we hate to see our kids grow up, we know they're coming. And most of the time, we're excited to watch our kids continue to tackle new challenges, continue to grow and mature, and thrive in more independent situations. It's part of the normal growth cycle, and we want that for all of our kids. Once again, special needs throws some big kinks into those plans. Sometimes milestones are reached on time. Others are reached later in life, and some are never accomplished. Each delay brings some disappointment. Each one never accomplished brings a loss. And like any other disappointment or loss, each one must be addressed and dealt with by each individual in a healthy manner so that things don't build up and other issues arise. But we also need to consider and sometimes even look for ways that our loved ones are meeting milestones, just differently than they're typically accomplished. Sometimes they might look different. Other times milestones are completed in a different way altogether. But it's still completed, and in the end, that's the important thing. The accomplishment of the milestone. 4 years ago, AJ graduated from high school on time, but not with the typical diploma. But he graduated, and he's very aware and proud of the fact that he graduated from high school, and rightfully so. Now his peers are graduating from college. I've even heard of one kid who's graduating this year and then moving across the country to start his first job. When I first heard about that, it was rather mind-boggling, especially when I realized that this kid is AJ's age. And that's when it hit me. AJ will never reach this particular milestone. He will never graduate from college. Now, I realize this is not new information. I've known this for years and have even stated this fact before. But somehow, seeing his peers graduate and move on with their lives, it's hitting me that this is one milestone he'll never reach. Or will he? Here's the thing. AJ is aging out of the job skills program he's currently in. In fact, he'll finish it this summer, like late July-ish. And if he were graduating from college, that's only a month or two after he would finish college. I've even considered this program the equivalent of college for him. And right on time, he's moving on to the next phase of life. It looks like he'll be able to start his first real job sometime in July. We're waiting for clarification on the specifics of the job, but he has a job waiting for him at a local restaurant with a scheduled July 1st opening. So again, just like his peers, he'll be starting his first job as he finishes college. And he's still pushing hard to move to my own house. I'm still working on those details, and the waiting list is likely to be long. But if his wait isn't too long, that could even be happening on time. Now, none of these accomplishments look exactly like what his peers are accomplishing. And yet the end goal is the same for them. Finishing college, starting their first job, and moving into their own place. He's accomplishing these milestones in his own way, right on time. And yet part of me wants to argue that he's not meeting them because they look so different. No, he won't walk across a stage and receive a diploma. But Seriously, who really wants to attend a graduation ceremony? Not many people I know. Is there really a big loss there? No one's ever going to expect to see his college diploma. He won't work a typical job, and it's not likely to pay a living wage. Again, we already knew that. The fact that we're looking at a traditional job is a huge step for him, one I wasn't sure he'd ever accomplish. Yes, it's a modified position, but it's still a job out in the real world, and no, not one that is specifically for someone with special needs. As for living independently, well, that's still a ways off, if it ever happens. He will be moving out of our house in the foreseeable future, though. Exactly when depends on waiting lists. We know it's a when, not an if, he'll move out, though. Yes, he'll move into a place that provides the support he still requires. Hopefully, we'll be able to find something that gives him more independence and is definitely away from us. Stepping back and looking through these adjusted glasses, I realize AJ really is meeting milestones on time. I don't know whether he'll ever get married or have kids, but he's still young enough. I'm not sure I'd want him hitting those milestones quite yet, even if he were typical. Time will tell whether or not he'll hit those. I'll address them when the time comes. But right now, I think I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the sweet success of helping him achieve his version of these big milestones. Right on time. I am so blessed. So my question for you this week is this. How has your loved one reached or missed milestones in his or her life? Have they achieved milestones in a modified manner? How do you feel about that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in April of 2022. If you prefer, you can always email me at Christy, CHRISTY, at havenofhopeforme.com. I'm grateful to realize AJ is still accomplishing milestones on time so that I can continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.